Okay.
Well, that's good.
Actually,
You know, submarine.
Dude.
Hi,
Hi, Cleve.
What's happening? What's the party about?
I would get it like.
I'm not talking about that because I see your comments that maybe
What a beautiful child.
Was your son your firstborn?
No, my daughter.
Your daughter's.
I baked this morning, so, yeah, I made 4 of
Okay,
them.
okay.
I wasn't
Give
sure.
him to the board. I just had a muffin.
Well,
Unless you want it for the staff or something.
No, I bring the
Very,
staff
very, very
every
good.
board.
So you're ready this one?
Warm.
I made 2 batches because I had bananas going bad.
You are an amazing person. I think, oh, I'm so busy, I hardly cook for myself even.
I didn't know I could have.
So we'll call the meeting to order. And have roll call, please.
Joe DiNucci. Marie-Clare Gorham. Here. Donna Jett. Here. Mary Jo Williams.
Here.
Thank you.
Can we say the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Is that how big he is?
Okay.
I turned my phone off.
So are there any announcements from the trustees? Anything, Donna?
Trying to think real quick. I did attend the Carmel Library Foundation meeting, and it was very enjoyable and informative. Thank you for letting me attend.
Okay, thank you, Donna, and thanks for going. Anything, Marie-Clare? Any announcements from you?
No, thanks.
No, okay. And when Joe gets here, I'd like to just defer that, but want to welcome him officially and allow him to say a few words to us when he gets here. Should we go ahead with approval of the minutes from the December 3rd, 2025 special meeting? Oh, are there any public appearances? Nobody on the phone or, so, okay.
I make a motion, we approve the minutes as presented.
Seconded.
Okay.
Donna Jett.
Treasurer's report.
No, just approve. the
Approve.
minutes.
Oh, I'm sorry, approve. I approve.
Marie-Clare Gorham. Yes. Mary Jo Williams.
Yes,
Approved, thank you.
it's okay, we've done that, yes.
And Joe, we are live.
Yes. That, well, either
Next to Marie.
next to Marie-Claire.
No, the other way, Joe. Please.
Okay. Well, I would like to officially welcome Joe DiNucci, our newest board member. And Joe, would you like to give us, I think we all are so happy that you're here, so happy that you're here. I thought you might want to take an opportunity just to say a few things, or if there are any questions you have?
Well, you know me from city council. If I open my refrigerator door and the light comes on, I do 5 minutes, so let's keep it short. I sent you all an email last night, so that's pretty much how I feel about it. It is a privilege to be here. I think the note might have implied that somehow I'm going to be part of making all these decisions about what the new library is going to look like or how it's going to evolve. And I know that's not part of what this job is. I do understand that, but I have a lot to learn. I've never been on a library board before, but obviously I do love books and I love this city. So Mayor asked me if I would be interested in doing this, and I said, be more than interested. I'd really be delighted to do it. So I'm just grateful to be here, and I'm just sorry that I messed up. I even had it on my calendar, on my phone. It's at City Hall. But no, went to the library, knocked, nobody answered, went downstairs. Oh, no, you're in the wrong building. So here we are.
Well, we're glad you're here.
Thank you.
And we just started with announcements, and we approved the minutes from the December meeting. And I was going to ask Linda if the library director has any announcements.
Thank you. Yes, there's a librarian's report in the pack. Are you on announcements or?
On announcements, yeah, sorry.
Oh,
And then librarian's report. I'm skipping all over.
That's okay. Which one would you like me to do? Announcements?
Announcements, please.
Okay. I wanted to mention to the board that my time is winding down, and I will be working in person through the end of February and available in March to help transition to the new library director. But I look forward to, there's another meeting in February and perhaps even in March that I'll be in attendance at. So It's truly been my pleasure to be here, but there's still work to be done, so I've not gone yet.
And then Melinda, can you give the board an update on the new permanent director position?
But
Oh,
that's
sorry.
okay.
We're just,
So the question about the new director's position, which logically follows what I just said. The city is finishing up their interview process, and we hope to hear an announcement in the next few weeks. The process is such that once they make an offer and they have, maybe negotiated and they have someone selected, there's still a background check to be done and reference checks. So, hold on. This is an appointment of the city administrator, in this case interim city administrator, Brandon Swanson. And I'm sure as soon as they're able to release that information, they will.
I think the good news is it's very much moving forward. Hopefully, the offer will be accepted and all the background checks and everything will be beautiful and.
Question, maybe you can share how many applicants there were?
Well, initially, there were over 40. I think it was 43 applicants. And then it was determined, of those, how many met the minimum qualifications. Then there was a panel interview. 3 library directors, myself included, were on the panel interview. And then we made the kind of short list of top candidates. We recommended those to the city administrator to proceed as he chose, and I know that there were second interviews that conducted. Yeah. Well, in the packet is our 2 months' worth of data on our, lending. We'd like to talk about something that's already been reported on, but summer reading program attendance, preschool program attendance, various school, teen, and adult programming broken out, our increase in electronic digital books and audiobooks. And I would say of all of this data, the school age program attendance has increased 154%, preschool program attendance over 85%, and then the teen and adult program attendance at 34 and 31%, respectively. I would say we must be delivering services that the community enjoys. Programs are very well attended, and people do have a lot of fun at both libraries, Park Branch Library and Harrison Memorial. We are seeing a lot more activity in the children's library, as the community calls it, and that's exciting. We have a 3% increase in library card holders, but I also want to point out our electronic and digital books, ever since COVID, where we've been able to invest a little bit more in those resources, we've seen quite an uptick. So we've seen now another 31% increase. And this is a quarterly average. I'm looking at this data, and we compare month to month to prior year, but I'd actually like to do an annual report for instance, at the end of June when we have a fiscal year and we're doing the state library report. It'd be easy enough to produce an annual report and maybe do a graphical display so that we have it available through the year that people can look at. Also want to mention, we're going to have that progress report later. I think that's probably it because I reported on the library director. Are there any questions?
No, I had a comment. I attended bingo, and they were happy that we had a representative there. I encourage everyone here. I also attended the birdhouse decorating. I have a beautiful birdhouse, well attended and very enthusiastic. Those people, they were doing Picassos, and the library had every possible work of, tools, every color, real paint, everything to do. I also attended the lecture with the author and the journalist this past week, and I know several of you were there. And that was enlightening, informative, entertaining, and hopeful. So I do think, us showing up as much as we can on many of the events are important.
I'm grateful, Donna, that you were there. I know you and I also both attended the foundation board meeting, and I know you'll hear from Alex later on that. I forgot to mention, we are in recruitment of the part-time librarian 1 vacant position, and we're also recruiting for part-time hourly library assistants. We're going to hire at least 3, and this will move us closer to our goal of opening the Park Branch Library on Saturdays. So,
Okay, thank you, Melinda.
you're welcome.
The report is from July to December, so it encompasses several months because we still haven't gotten the monthly report timely. So this is a bulk report. And it shows the revenue, and it shows up the budget, and it shows over the budget. And you can look in depth on your computer, but my report is just from each section. But the bottom line is that we were, as you can see, we were pretty much on budget. Supposedly, we were $25.20 off. So whoever is coming up with the budget is doing a great job. And that's for several months, because some months, depending on what bills come in, we have a real shortage. But then we catch up in the next month. So this is for quite a length of time. And I did read the whole report, and we all have the report. And it's quite enlightening of where our money goes. When I say our money, everybody's money that goes into that, as they used to say, or they say here in the bucket, where it goes. And without the help of the foundation, friends of everybody, we wouldn't be in such a good shape. So that's the treasurer's report.
Thank you. And we need to approve the check register for November and December. Is there any questions or any comments on the check register, Donna?
No, it's, I do sign the checks, and I think you do too. And Leslie is good about paying our bills on time. And so I meet with her usually once a week, because I'm just a couple of blocks from the library. So unless Leslie has anything else to say, the check register is the way it is.
Okay, so I think we need a motion to approve the check register for November and December 2025.
I make a motion to approve the check registry.
Second.
Donna, Jett.
I approve.
Joe DiNucci.
I approve.
Mary Jo Williams.
I approve.
Corin.
Thank you.
Approved, thank you.
Okay, so next on our agenda is a progress report on the Harrison Memorial Library Restoration Project.
And I will start, and I know we'll also hear more from the foundation. The restoration project is on track. It's very exciting. MRY Architects gave a presentation to the City Council at the December 3rd, 2025 meeting, and their complete slide deck is available on the city's website for that meeting, but also in today's library board agenda packet. I would point out that the timeline might be of great interest to the community, and they have completed the schematic design process, which I now understand is phase 1, and they're on track to complete the design, development, and construction process or phases of the project by fall or by the end of 2026. Also, as part of the project, we've been exploring, with the board's help, temporary library locations. So a temporary library site, while the Harrison Memorial Library is under restoration, has been identified, and negotiations are in process. And as soon as we have more information on that, we'll be reporting out.
Great. Thank you, Melinda. Any questions or comments?
Well, I appreciate the schedule layout. And my question is just, is this holding steady, or has it been getting better or getting worse over the last, say, 6 months? Is the schedule, are you confident that it's going to hold?
I am. I think that it's, so far at least, they've been right on target. I don't know. Alex, if you would have anything to add to that, you agree?
Yes, I've written the city and the architects are working to hold the schedule
Yes.
to completion. The goal is for the project to be completed in 2028.
It's very encouraging.
Yes. Yes, it is. It's very exciting. So great to see it moving forward. And yeah, and it's nice to start to see the detail in here. I think about the way they're honoring the original design and making it even better. So it's very exciting.
And if I could, I know that there will be a more complete presentation following from the foundation, but I just want to take the opportunity again to thank the foundation for all their efforts, particularly in the fundraising side, but they've been a great partner through this entire process, and you know, the collaboration with the city, the foundation, and the library has been tremendous.
Great. Yes. Thank you, Melinda. Anything else on that? Great. Okay. And Alex, a report from the Carmel Public Library Foundation on recent activities.
Thank you, and good morning, Library Board of Trustees. In December, the Carmel Public Library Foundation provided the second quarterly distribution to the library of $91,500. And in our exciting news about the campaign and the restoration, the Carmel Public Library Foundation has raised over $16 million for the centennial restoration. So that means we have a little over $1 million to meet the estimated goal of $17.5 million. And the majority of those funds are in the bank. So we have the money to proceed. As part of that total, we received a gift of $3 million from a foundation in Santa Barbara. And this really is an extraordinary endorsement of the vision and significance of the Harrison Memorial Library Centennial Restoration Project. This gift, along with the other very generous gifts, places us in a very strong position to expand our capital campaign to include an endowment component, which we have been planning since the beginning of the campaign. We are nearing the end of phase one, as Melinda updated everyone, and this phase one will provide the completion of the schematic design, and the architect will be presenting their renderings soon to all the stakeholders in the community at large. As part of our Power of Language series, next week on February 4th, we have architect historian Elizabeth Cannell presenting The Language of Architecture, Decoding Built Messages, and we hope we can see you there. The remaining 5 programs include a fireside chat about language and AI, as well as an acclaimed foreign film, Universal Language, and we hope you can attend these programs. And actually, I brought the flyers.
Oh, nice.
We're so good.
Well, we have one up at the Carmel Women's Club.
Nice. Thank you so
Thanks,
much.
Alex. Oops. Yeah, I signed up for this yesterday.
Great.
I did too.
The foundation has engaged acclaimed author, constitutional scholar, and emeritus of the CEO of the National Constitution Center in Pennsylvania, in Philadelphia, Jeffrey Rosen, for the foundation's annual event, which will be called the We the People Edition, The Pursuit of Liberty and America's 250-Year Battle Over Power. This will be on April 28th at Sunset Center. And we hope you'll support the library by attending and bring your friends. There's a wine reception. There'll be an opportunity for Q&A. We just engaged a constitutional scholar, a professor on sabbatical from Berkeley, who's going to be the facilitator of that event. Her name is Amanda Tyler, and I think it's going to be very interesting. And as you know, this event carries heightened importance as it explores the enduring principles that underpin our democracy and Constitution that are currently being challenged. We hope to see you there and all of our other programs. And thank you so much. And if you have any questions, I'm here.
So you need about another $1.5 million to hit the goal.
Yes.
So I've identified 3 sitting ducks in my network, 2 of whom own property here. They don't live here, but one owns a few homes and the other one home right down on, right up from the beach. And a third guy who lives in Pebble, but we published a book for him in the spring. And they're all kind of people that could do something.
Wonderful.
So we need to connect offline and figure out how to approach them and see if we can close this deal. I don't know if we'll get all of it, but we'll get some.
That sounds great. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you.
And are you still planning a more public campaign to raise money or not?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
We want everyone who wants to participate to be able to participate.
Yeah.
And that's part of also why we're going to be working with our endowment alongside of that. So,
Great.
yes.
I have a question. Someone asked me if there's naming opportunities from a brick to a wall, and I said I have no idea.
That's a good question right now. As we're still firming up the design of the building, we don't have exact plaque acknowledgement naming opportunities, but I will say that the names in the building currently will remain. There won't be any additional naming of the rooms. For example, the
Okay.
Barnett Siegel Reading Room will remain that. There won't be additional, but we will have plaques that commemorate and acknowledge all the, at the various levels. And we have Centennial founders and those who are participating in the campaign will be acknowledged.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Sure.
Okay. So next on the agenda is authorization of the Carmel Public Libraries Foundation's use of the library for the Donor Salute event on Sunday, March 8th, and the Sterling Circle event on Sunday, June 7th, and recommend that the City Council co-sponsor and approve the serving of alcohol for both events. So is this something we need to have a motion for? Okay. Any questions about this first? Or concerns? Okay. So can we have a motion, please, then, to approve these requests?
I make a motion to approve the request and approve the serving of alcohol for both events. And I wonder, Leslie might know, does the police chief have to sign a one-day alcoholic beverage? Because I just had him sign one for me yesterday.
Yes, it's just like anything else.
It's just like in the park or
Yes.
anywhere, very simple, $50 and ABC's happy. Thank you. I make a motion to approve.
Second.
Donna Jett,
Yes.
Joe DiNucci,
Yes.
Mary Jo Williams.
Yes.
Approved, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, next on the agenda is to consider a request to borrow city artwork by the Monterey Museum of Art. Katie?
Hi, excuse me. Hi, good morning. So just briefly, this is a request by someone we've worked with before, Monterey Museum of Art, to borrow the Mary Danielle Morgan painting that's currently on display at the Harrison Memorial Library in the lobby. They have submitted to me all of the details about transportation, security, environmental controls. They are a nationally accredited art museum. They meet all of the best practices and standards of that field. And I have no concerns about having them borrow this piece. The piece itself is in stable condition. It's, excuse me. Excuse me. It's been lent out before. Okay, thanks. And traveled even further than it would to go to Monterey and come back in perfect shape. And the last condition report it had was from 2015, and they, by Bonham's auction house, and they didn't see any issues with it or any causes for concern.
Thank you. We need a motion then from us and approval for you to do this.
Yes, so part of it is, according to the, maybe I do need that water. I'm sorry.
It's okay. That's okay.
According to our art loan policy, there has to be a current appraised value within the last 5 years, and the last one we have is 10 years old. But I wanted to get your guys' approval to start that process. You know, if you had reason to say no, I wasn't going to ask the museum to go through the entire process with us. But if you say yes, then I'll organize the appraisal. The museum is already prepared to pay for it, and then it comes back to you guys for final approval. And I believe it needs to. Then it goes to City Council for the last little bit.
So you're saying that they will pay for the appraisal?
Yes, that is specified in the
Conditions.
the loan policy, and they've already agreed. This is standard procedure for them. They've done this with many other organizations.
And then I don't know where it is in the main library. I'm just curious, will we put something else up there while it's on loan, or?
I hadn't planned to put anything else up. They're asking to borrow it from April through September, which is going to take us into the time when we might be looking at temporary spaces and moving things out.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
above the new fiction books in the lobby. And just, I don't have a specific budget for having a different piece professionally
Since we're
installed.
moving.
Okay.
But I don't think it would be noticeable particularly or jarring to not have something on that wall.
Will you put up a notice, because when I've been to other museums, it does say on loan
Loan
to,
to.
and I think that's an amazing thing to do, that they value it enough to borrow it.
Yeah.
And that gives us credibility about our art collection.
Yes.
On loan to, and you could even put the return, well, there's no return, so you don't want to do that until there's a remodel. Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, any other questions?
Any other
for me?
questions? So, okay.
I make a motion to approve the loan to the Monterey Museum of Art.
I second the motion.
Donna Jett,
Yes.
Joe DiNucci,
Yes.
Mary Jo Williams.
Yes.
Approved, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Katie. Thanks very much. Okay, then we have 2 items on the agenda to consider the appointment of an ad hoc committee. The first one is to review the budget. We are actually a little past the midway point in our budget, and Donna said we're tracking very well, which is great, but it's always a good idea to take a look at it in a little more depth at this period of time. I think to start thinking about what, if anything, will be different in our request to the foundation for the next fiscal year. And a little bit of crystal ball gazing, I think, to think about what would that budget be, given that the library will likely be relocated for at least half that next year's budget. And how is all that going to play together? So it's a little more complex than most of our budget cycles. And so I was thinking that perhaps Donna, for sure, as a treasurer, and one other board member should work together with the library director to review this budget and thinking about the
Yeah,
next
I
year.
have a question, though.
Yeah.
We don't have a library director.
Well, it would be
So-
working with Melinda
so-
for the time that she's here.
For what time, but, it's almost, between Melinda and the new person. But the new person won't be as familiar as Melinda, so it might be difficult, Melinda, when everybody's new and,
Well, I would say the work still needs to be done. So particularly in anticipation of the next fiscal year budget.
Right.
The city will be kicking off the process in February. So, starting to capture any expenses or purchases acquisitions that will be needed as we move forward. There'll be a shifting of collections money probably to some e-resources while we're in a temporary location, but continuing to buy new titles as well, particularly in hard copy. But there's some, I think there's some guidance, some decision points that, may help the new director to define, what is this temporary library going to be and offer, and it may just be a little bit, it may not be less money, but it may be the shifting of funds. So I think it's always good to review that, and I'd be happy to start if the group wants to meet in the month of February, and then I'm preparing transitional notes for the new director, and I think the budget will be in full swing by the time that person shows up. We'll work together. We're going to have some overlap.
So when you suggest we start this?
I would say if we could meet sometime before the next board meeting.
Yes.
That would be a good idea. And it doesn't have to be lengthy. And if it includes someone who's new to the board or has never really looked at the budget like you're very familiar, Donna, but others are maybe less familiar, it's also informative. And that way, then this ad hoc committee could make a report out at the end of February, perhaps, and then if we're ready. And if not, maybe March.
Yeah, as I said before, I will be on a cruise February the 25th.
Right.
So I shan't be here.
Okay.
So if we could meet in the next couple of weeks with, maybe.
Well, before I
you
ask
or
for
Joe.
volunteers, I thought I would talk about both of them, and then, I talked to Marie-Clare a little briefly offline, but and Joe, you can be thinking about which of these are either and/or you might be interested in. The second one was a consideration of the appointment of an ad hoc committee to work with the director to review the 2025-2027 strategic plan. And I think the reason I brought this up because we have been so focused, I think, on the renovation. The plan was completed and presented, I believe, in June of this last year. But we haven't paid a lot of attention to it within the board itself. And I don't think that we're really off track with that. I think that the library leadership has been very much aware of the strategic plan and focusing on it, but we as a board are not familiar with where we are and do we need to make any adjustments or changes. So I think this group would meet with not just Melinda, but also with the other library leaders who have been taking responsibility for this to just see where we are. And maybe it's a 1 or 2 meeting and you come back and say, we're fine, we're good, this is where we are and that's it, or we may need to make some adjustments. So 2 different ad hoc committees, one focused on budget and one focused on strategic plan. Marie-Clare was part of the original strategic plan committee and she's willing to continue to work on that. So I wanna put her name up for that in her absence with the baby. But I don't know, and obviously you as a treasurer, I think need to be involved with the budget. But Joe, I would ask you, do you have any preference or thoughts?
My least, if I have any power, the thing I have the least power on is budget.
Okay.
I confound myself trying to comprehend it and figure out what matters and what doesn't. It's just the way I'm wired. It's not my thing. I would volunteer for the strategic plan side. In fact, I was asking myself, could I actually learn something if I volunteered for the ad hoc budget thing? I don't think so.
Okay.
So if it's a default, like we have to have another volunteer, I'll do it.
No,
But it would be my,
No. So what I would propose then, from after our conversation, is that Donna and I be the ad hoc committee for the budget, and you and Marie-Clare participate in the ad hoc committee for the strategic plan review. Is
okay.
that
And she's been
satisfactory?
part of it already, so.
Yes, she has.
Okay, cool.
So, okay,
Does
great.
that need
Does it need a vote
motion?
or a motion?
it says consideration?
No,
No.
I don't think so. It was just
Okay.
more to have the discussion and make sure
Right.
that everybody understood why we were, and when. So hopefully we can
We can meet.
and then in February, we can report back on progress and whatever timelines or dates that we might have set for ourselves to complete the work. After we
And
meet.
maybe this will come out of the ad hoc committee meetings, but it might be appropriate to schedule or have a reporting out on the strategic
Yes.
planning process.
Yes. At least once a quarter, yeah.
At least once a
totally.
quarter. And, staff will be doing a lot of prep, but, that way you're helping to keep the staff on track.
Right.
Right.
And having input.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
we just kind of dropped that ball, I think, in the last several months, and for good reason. There's been a lot of change, leaders change, focus on the renovation, lots of reasons for it, but I don't want it to get lost. It's a good document. We did a lot of great work, a lot of community involvement, so great, thank you. And so the last thing on our agenda is to consider rescheduling the Wednesday, April 22nd meeting. I apologize, Leslie, that I know you did the calendar last meeting, and I was not paying attention to my own travel schedule. I will be gone on April 22nd, and so I was asking if everyone could be available on April 29th, if we could change that 1 month.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
I always have something on there, but I've moved that one.
okay, thank you.
But I will not be here next month,
Right, understood.
unless I can Zoom from the ship.
No,
Because I did Zoom from Paris and Utah for the other commission,
I
so.
think you have to post your address, and if your address is moving, it might not work.
we did it a couple times, but I know there's some concern or restriction to it.
We did do it, and when Donna was doing it, it was still under the rules and regulations for COVID.
Yeah.
And so you didn't have to put your address, but now we have gone back to the regular Brown Act rules where
Yeah,
you have to
that was
put your
it.
address, and it has to be ADA accessible, and if people show up, they can come in. So, yeah, the rules changed back.
Okay,
Yeah, so
so,
that would be kind of hard for you on a ship, I think.
Yeah.
But hopefully we can have Marie-Clare here next month to continue with the quorum.
okay, thank you.
And we do need a motion to approve that date change.
Okay.
I move to approve that.
The
No,
date
she's-
change?
I second it.
Donna Jett,
Yes,
Joe DiNucci.
Yes.
Mary Jo Williams.
Yes, and
Approved,
thank
thank
you.
you.
Thank all of you for that. Okay, any future agenda items that we need to bring up? Obviously, we'll get reports back from the ad hoc committees.
yeah, you can make the report after we meet.
Yes, I can do
Okay.
that, yeah. Anything else, anything?
I'll throw this out. I attend a monthly event at Eddie Matsumoto's art gallery up on Mission. I don't know if you know about her, but she's amazing. And it's sort of a Carmel's Got Creatives kind of thing. And people that mostly do art, but also writing or whatever, even cooking. And they come and it's a 2-hour gig. It's pretty fun. But that and something else inspired me to create something I'm going to do either as part of the library or do it separately. But I just thought I'd throw it out. And as you know, I'm a book publisher. And so I think I mentioned it in my email about reading, writing, and arithmetic is now reading, writing, and rethinking. And I'm thinking that what could use a little formality to it and structure and plan is maybe a monthly or maybe twice a month gathering of readers and writers, people who are interested in books, whether it's fiction or nonfiction, and various speakers, people who've written a book and want to talk about it, or people who've just fallen in love with the book and they want everybody to know about it. So it's embryonic at this point. It's just something I'm starting to think about. But I'd also like to get some direction whether such a thing, because I happen to also be in a position of running a book production company, if that is crosswise with the sort of rules of engagement within the library board. I should just do it separately, or it would benefit the library. It would be part of something that would be part of the library. I'd want to do it either way. I'm not sure it's going to work, but given the history of books and writers in this little square mile we live in, it just hit me like, whoa, this is something that we really need to. Yeah, I like all the visitors coming in the restaurants and the art galleries and all that, but it's a book world. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, and so I just thought I'd throw it out. And if you think it's a really dumb idea, just say so. If you think, yeah, let's maybe talk about it.
I would suggest you talk to the Harrison Library, the people that put on their events on Mondays and Thursdays at 4, and see if any of those speakers. The Women's Club, we just had 2 authors, local authors. We use a lot of local authors. There is a voice for them here.
Okay.
They also speak many times at the foundation and Ollie CSUMB. So, but you might talk to them about their schedule because they've had speakers from CSUMB at the library. I've attended those and to see if that's something that fits into their program. It's not so much to sell the book as it is just to let the community know that these people live here and are published, not self-published, but published writers in the New York Times and different places, so. But I would talk to them.
Okay.
Joe, I'll facilitate that. I can facilitate that.
Yeah,
Okay, that'd be great.
Let's chat.
yeah.
Yeah, I agree with Donna. I think just exploring more about what's already happening and then see if we identify a gap.
Sure.
Yeah,
Perfect, thank you.
sure. Anything else? Any other future agenda items? Anything else? Going once, going twice?
One
Okay.
last thing.
Oh, okay.
Colombo.
Let's see, looking through the packet, I spotted 1.3. There's a reference to facilitating library services for people with various limitations. And I didn't notice anything about blind people. But I know there are resources there for the blind people. I only know about this because I volunteer for ITN. I drive old people around. They can't drive anymore. And I picked up this woman who had lost she can't read. And we stopped by the library and lovely woman there, I forget what the gadget's called, but it reads it narrates the book. So it looks like the resources are there, but I didn't see much about it in anything else about the library. It just might be something to make more people aware of, because a lot of people, especially later in life, do lose their ability to read. They just can't read. So.
Right, if I could, as you pointed out, it's in the strategic plan. We do have, I think it's the playaways that you were referring to, where
Yeah, playaways.
you just have to put a battery in and plug in a headset. It's very easy to use. The state library used to have a wonderful program, and I think they've had to cut back with all the budget cuts at the state level, but the state library had the Talking Books Library, and they had their own devices, a very simple electronic device that would play. And they also used to record newspapers and magazines, and we do miss that service. We also have a few other assistive devices for using computers to enlarge and make it easier for those who have sight or some sight, but might be legally blind. But let's talk a little bit more when we get to the strategic planning review process, and we can do a check-in with staff. I know there's quite a bit of branding and marketing and promoting that we aren't doing enough of to let people know what we already have. So thank you for bringing that up.
Okay.
I would say there's probably 2 answers to that question. One is the operational issues that you just mentioned, Melinda, and then there's also the renovation, and the architects are very aware of the library's physical limitations when it comes to people with disabilities, and I think when you see the schematic design, you'll see that they've thought about just about everything, in terms of access and making the library more accessible to people who have some disabilities. So it's a good question, though. Very good question. Okay. Anything else? I'm going to bang the gavel.
Who brought the bread?
Donna. Okay. Meeting adjourned. Thank you all.
Meeting's adjourned, thank you.
Thank you all.
Yes.
This is a treat.
Is it?
I got home, I told Melinda, no food in my house.
I never have food, but
I usually do.